So that was interesting. And then I opened up a studio in New York, and I had a studio in New York for about 40 years. I did advertising and commercial photography. And while I was doing my jobs and working I was working for a lot of major corporations, doing magazine ads and billboards and so on. But while I was doing that, I continued doing my own personal work, and then we moved to Westport in 1973. And I looked around and I said, wow, this place is great. This is the country, there's trees here, there's the sky, there's so many things to photograph. And so I started shooting suburbs in 1973. And that was sort of like the beginning. Most photographers of that period were from the city.
Right.
And they photographed mostly in cities.
Right.
And it's sort of the beginning of some photographers moving out to the suburbs. And when they did that, they started to photograph the suburbs. And that was my case.
And actually, some of your pieces, though, have a strong architectural quality, even though they're about, this is a piece which is, this is Westport.
Yeah, that's Campo Beach. I use graphics a lot. I use design a lot in my work. And it's a fairly strong piece because it has those arches and the redundancies of the arches. I don't think anybody can do that anymore. They've changed the beach around now, so there's a path in its way. But one museum collector, museum collector, when he took that picture, they said that what I'm going to become known for was not going to be my earlier work, but my work such as this. And she took this into the collection. And I don't know, maybe she's right. I think time will tell.
Right. Well, here's another piece, which is a little bit more nature, but is also this is also Westport.
Yeah, this was shot at Longshore.
Right.
And incidentally, we're having a 60th anniversary of Longshore coming up, and this is going to be in a show in Westport Library. I did this at probably around 7 o'clock in the morning, and it was an incredible day. I mean, there was a feeling in the air that you very rarely get, and I came upon this, and I looked, and there was no jogger in there. And I said to myself, you know, what I really need is somebody else, something in this picture other than just the landscape. And just then I heard this huffing and puffing, and this jogger came up the center of the path. And I was fortunate. I was able to take both a vertical and a horizontal of this picture. So some companies, Swedish companies, publishing it as a horizontal, and but the day was magical. It was really an unusual morning.
Well, one thing I find when you photograph a lot, somehow you find magical days more than other people do, just because you're more sensitive to them.
Well, I got to tell you, there's plenty of times I've gone out and it just wasn't right. You know. I would go out in the morning, and you know, I could drive maybe 50 miles all over Connecticut and come back with not an image. And sometimes, you know, all of a sudden you fall into something, you know. So I photographed Connecticut sort of like I did New York, only for a longer period of time, maybe for about 30 years, you know. And I documented it and photographed in the style that I've always worked in. But my life changed probably maybe about 10 years ago when my photography took a totally different turn.
Well, first, I did want to talk a little bit about, you did China as well.
Yeah, well, what happened with China is this was in 1996. Westport brought in as its sister city, a city in China called Yangzhou. And the delegation came in from Yangzhou to sign the formal sister city agreement. And apparently they saw my work, or they went to the Westport Arts Center, and they suggested that maybe somebody could do a show in Yangzhou on a photography show. So they came to me because they knew that I had been photographing the area for a long time, and asked if I would go to China. At first, I thought they just wanted my pictures,
Right.
and I was ready to send pictures of of Connecticut to young Joe. And they said, no, we want you to come there. We want you to photograph young Joe the way you photograph in your style, the way you photograph Westport and this area. So my wife Gloria and I ended up going to young Joe. They did an exhibition of Westport work they built a new, wonderful, beautiful building, all marble and so on, and they did a show of my work. And I went out photographing the lifestyle. I gave them an itinerary of things that I wanted to photograph. And like hospitals and old age homes and things of that sort. And they were terrific. They took me wherever I wanted to go. Okay. And those pictures, this is an image I took. It's called Manhole in Concrete. And that cart must have weighed, I don't know how many hundreds of pounds, but he's dragging this up the street. And in '96, it was much more primitive. This was taken in young Joe, much more primitive than it is today. And maybe nowadays they have trucks. I don't know. But this is an image that I took there. It was a street scene.
It's very haunting.
Yeah. So in '96, I took a lot of pictures, and then. I just want to say one. Yeah, you want to show another?
This is a fun picture, actually.
Yeah, this was in as I said, I wanted to photograph newborn babies.
Right.
And they took me to this hospital where the newborns were, and so I did that. This is one picture. I took a lot of pictures, and fortunately, the series that I did in '96 won this contest called "How a Foreigner Sees China."
Oh, interesting.
So it was published all over China, and then the China Photo Press and the China Photographers Association invited me back because I had won this award. Right. So they invited me back, and Gloria and I traveled to other places, including in Mongolia, and I photographed in '99 also in China, and it took me about 2 years of printing. I printed a lot. I do all my own printing. Never.
Yeah, it's in the dark room. None of this is on computer. This is all done in the dark room.
No, I still do only dark.